Hello folks, welcome to another episode of Jammin' Dude's Neighborhood, and you're not seeing me in the dude costume this time because I am dressed as Mao and I'm at Emerald City Comic Con with Peter Orullian, who is the writer of The Unremembered, and his brand new book Trial of Intentions is now available and has in fact come very close to selling out completely here at the con, so congratulations.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been great.
Fantastic book. One of the things that I really enjoy about the book is the magic, and that's what really works for the audience and me in particular, is that we're all about music. So in this world, the magic revolves around music and the resonance between living things. Can you talk a little bit about the magic of your world and resonance?
Sure. I had this idea that our world has these governing principles, things like gravity and magnetism. And I posit in the world I've created the same, a similar idea, a unifying principle called resonance. I build it off of an acoustic law that we have. And people mostly are familiar with this through, someone sings or there's a note that's struck, and it, with a crystal glass it will shatter. Mm-hmm. And it's the idea that matter has a signature, a vibratory signature, that if you strike it, it can deconstruct. So I extrapolate from that the ability, this principle of resonance that governs my world. And what that means is, in a lot of the different cultures, this principle can be tapped or harnessed in different ways. As you'd expect, not everybody would sort of find their way to it and use it the same. So it may look like the magic systems are different in different cultures, and you'll see that in the book. But one of the principal ways is through music. I needed, though, for the magic to be effective at a distance, out of earshot. And so I did some investigation and research around quantum entanglement, because with quantum entanglement, there's a lot more to it than this, but one of the things you start to learn about is the ability for two particles to be excited simultaneously, at great distance. And they're not quite sure how this happens. So I marry these things and I throw in some other pieces of research to come up with this governing principle. And then I have a main character who uses the music, and part of the way the resonance works is there's a physical way, meaning the character can resonate with you and cause physical damage. But one of the deeper ways that the magic works is by resonating with something sort of emotionally inside you. And the challenge is with resonance is both things come into resonation with each other. So it means that if you've got a basically good person going around trying to help, but as part of doing that, they're fighting the bad guys. Part of the bad guy is getting inside them. So they're effectively being changed or turned into the thing that they're trying to destroy. So that's the consequence of the magic. So, that's sort of a high level on how it works. There's obviously more to it, but music kind of sits at the core there, because most of the magic you see in the world is a music magic, a vocal music magic specifically.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we're seeing a lot of that, and I like the way that you're using, I forget, like a disharmony or a
dysphonic.
Dysphonic, thank you.
Yeah.
That was the term that I was looking for. Can you talk a little bit about how that works into the principle of resonance?
Yeah, as a person who loves rock and roll, you hear a lot of vocalists who rough the voice. They have a rasp. And I wanted to talk about the effect of that and how that lent something to the music that was being rendered. Because the music magic isn't just all sopranos singing lullabies. It's an assertive magic. And so I wanted a sound that helped represent that. So a lot of the music magic is done, and I concede this term dysphonic. It may exist, I hadn't seen it before, but the idea there is that Wendra in particular, who does this magic, when she sings, a lot of time it's that sound. It's that rasp, and it's really visceral, and so she can cause a lot of change. And some of the emotion behind that can be anger or fear or hatred. And it's coming from,
and even that can be used for good purposes too.
For sure.
Yeah.
And in fact, when she's going to attack something that is at its core maybe got ill intent, part of the way she's going to find a common bond to resonate with is to find that element of that thing. So she has to search herself for some element of ill will. in order to resonate, you know, and then amplify it in that other thing or person or creature in order to cause it some sort of harm.
Even if it's just a hatred of evil, you know.
Could be.
Yeah, could be along those, yeah.
And
yeah.
so you'll see resonance kind of operating sometimes on a real emotional level. How do you find something that is so painful and then amplify it so that it becomes debilitating, even to the point of death?
Yeah.
So there's hey, resonance can actually break down flesh and kill. It can also effectively sort of drive you mad or debilitate you in an emotional or spiritual way.
Yeah, excellent. What kind of since this is so themed on music, and you know we're both very big progressive rock fans. It's one of the reasons that we met was talking over stuff like Dream Theater but one of the things I was wondering is do you listen to anything in particular to put you in the mood? Do you listen to music while you write, or do you listen to anything in particular before you begin writing a certain chapter?
I get asked this a lot because I'm so passionate about music, but I actually don't. And I know a lot of writers who do. They'll listen to music. A lot of them will tell you they listen to music without lyrics because it's the words that are distracting. It's not the music. My problem is any form of music demands my attention. I can't have it on because it wants to be listened to. So it's a distraction in the best possible way. So I can't have it on. It doesn't matter what the music is. I know some writers use different music for different moods, and I totally understand it. But their brains are wired differently, and not better or worse, just different. And it means they can turn it on, and it can put them in a mood that maybe is the right mood for the scene they're writing. But if I turn that music on, I'm going to listen to the music.
What if you're more in the idea phase, though, where you're not necessarily down to writing, but I mean, I like any artist, I'm assuming you capture inspiring moments just as you're going through your life.
Sure, you know, and if I'm listening, I'll have ideas while listening to music.
Yeah.
But I don't like if I have part of my process is I do a bunch of outlining and sort of story structure before I actually sit down to write. Even in that phase, I wouldn't listen to music, and I don't listen to music. I'm snobbish about this in some regards.
I hear you.
Music is a primary thing for me. It's not background.
Yep. And I totally get it. So, all right. Well, Peter, as I said, his new book. His new book is called Trial of Intentions. It's volume 2 of the Vault of Heaven series, and the first book is called The Unremembered, and you can get it at Amazon, or you can also go to peterorullian.com.
You can, or it's in your local bookstores, Barnes & Noble.
Yep, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
A couple of quick lightning round questions just for Goofy. Do you cook? And if so, do you like to cook? And if so, do you have anything in particular that you enjoy cooking?
I don't dislike cooking, but it's not a passion. I don't, go to.
Do you have anything you can cook well? Like one thing that you kind of go, oh, I can totally do this.
I can do pork chops pretty well.
Do you?
I love. That might be my favorite meat is pork.
Okay, cool. So. What do you like to do on a rainy day?
I actually hate the rain, which is ironic because I live here. 9-10 months of gray. When that sun comes out, either because you're in summer or you get a day here and there in the winter, my mood changes materially. And so other days I try and forget that it's raining outside. What am I doing? In the morning I'm writing. And after work, eating dinner with the kids, and I love movies. So,
okay, yeah, and that's why they're big around here, because it rains. It does.
That's right.
So it gets great. And since this is Comic-Con themed, I just thought I'd give you the real cliche one. If you could have any superpower, what would your superpower be?
Time travel.
Time travel. Good one. Good one.
And it wouldn't be because I want to go change anything. I think I just want to be able to go and experience all the places and people and things.
And sometimes I have always thought of that one too, just on a level of finding out what really happened instead of just our reports, which can get. So, all right. Well, Peter, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time here on the Jammin' Dude's Neighborhood.